Hello Nintendo Wii here, welcome back to Let's Play Retro Games. Today, I just wanted to show you a bit more on my game, Super Donuts. So I think since the last one of these game dev videos I've actually done quite a lot, so let's jump straight in and I'll show you some of the new things that I've done. And try and ignore the traffic outside, I'm sorry about that. Anyway, I can't exactly remember what I showed you last time. I think I showed you some of World 1 and maybe a bit of World 2. So we'll jump into World 3 and let's take a look at one of the bigger levels in the game actually. Let's take a look at this. It's W3EX, EX being one of the extra levels. And as you can see, this is a lot bigger than some of the levels that you'll find in the game. I've still got to work a bit on this, like I don't really like how this area here looks. It's very empty and a bit bland. But basically, if I won't bother testing the scene because it'll take a while, but this section here you can actually go two different ways. There's a hidden donut down here, or you can actually take the long way around and you'll end up coming back up the top and the secret suite's over there. There shouldn't actually be two. I might remove that and replace it with something else, because there really should only be one in each stage. I've also done all the way up to World 8, so that's fantastic. Let's take a look at some of the World 4 levels. This one you might have seen before, although it's changed slightly. This one I think is a brand new one. This one has two different power-ups in it. This one has a section for the sticky donut power-up, as well as the giant donut power-up, which is down here. And that lets you break down here and get to the finish. And if you don't get to the finish, then you walk back up to the top. Let's show you something brand new. This is one that I'm very excited to have done. This is World 7, which is actually set in outer space, or very close to being in outer space. And I played around with gravity quite a lot in this bit, so it's actually quite fun. Level 19 here, this one's a fairly straightforward level where you're basically just going from one side of the screen to the other. It's quite long because I wanted it to be fairly challenging, but not so much that you get frustrated because there's still two more levels to go. Now this one takes the basic idea of going onto the floor and the ceiling, but sort of expands upon it to make a lot bigger level, a bit more complicated as well. And while I'm here, I did just remember that I've got to change that to 3 because there's actually 3 donuts in this stage, not 2. So I'll do that now. And then this level here, level 3 in World 7, this one's even bigger than that, and this one also has low gravity. So instead of just going over the jumps as normal, you actually go over them half the gravity as usual. So I'll jump in now, give this scene a test, and you can have a look at what World 7 looks like. This is brand new, no one's seen this before, so I'm excited to share it for the first time. Alright, it's finally done. Turn the sound down a bit because I don't want it to deafen you. Oh, actually I don't think there is any sound. So basically when you go over that red arrow there, it flips you upside down and you land on the ceiling. And the idea is that you use these to get onto the different platforms, like there, and then you can jump across and grab the baby donut from the top of the stage. Oh, there is a bit of sound. And this gets increasingly more complicated as the level goes on. Obviously I've played it quite a lot because I made it, so I'm probably making it look really easy, but trust me, if you're playing it for the first time, it's not as easy as this. And that blue donut in there, I made him actually be affected by the gravity, so I put him in a little cage to stop him from flying around. And then there's this bit here where you can either land on the ceiling or the floor. And then something which was introduced earlier on, so hopefully people won't be too confused when this happens. To get to the top there, where them sweets are, you actually have to drop down from the bottom of the level and you land back on the top. And that's how you get to this donut up here. And you can sort of use that to like skip bits of the level, like if you wanted to jump down there, or oh, that's it, yeah. If you go up here, you can actually drop off the top and get the sweets from there and then drop down. You can see how it works. So I had quite a lot of fun making the level around the idea of being able to go upside down. Like there, you see I didn't actually manage to get that secret suite because I bounced too far. So you sort of have to make your way back over to it by going through here. And try not to get hit. You get the idea. Anyway, I won't show you the entire level, it's just an idea. And this second level sort of plays similarly to that, but it's got a lot more to it. But I'll show you this level 21 because this one's quite different and includes a brand new power up, the attack power up, which I haven't shown before either. So let's take a look at this one. Alright, here we go, it's finally loaded. So you actually can pick these up and you get this new attack power, which works quite well. It took me a long time to figure out how to get it to work. But basically you just shoot the sprinkles out of the donut. And as you can see, the gravity is a lot lower than in most normal levels, so you can actually sort of float around. And later on I've made some pretty awkward platforming. Bear in mind this is World 7, so it's fairly far into the game. And as you can see as well, the more attack power-ups that you pick up, the more attacks that you actually get to use. And that shouldn't have happened, I just flew off the edge of the stage. And there's actually only supposed to be one there at the start, but I put 3 there just to take a screenshot because it looks a bit cooler when there's more things coming out. It took me a long time to get that timer at the top of the screen to work as well, so I'm really glad that's working. You don't actually need to go up there, you just need to get to the other side here, if I can. Break these blocks. You can see that I was just testing out things. And a lot of this art and graphics are just placeholders at the moment. My girlfriend's pretty busy recently, so it's just placeholders. I have asked on Reddit actually if anyone else wants to help out with pixel art in the game, so if you know anyone who does pixel art, then give me a shout, give me their email address or something. But yeah, we're getting there, slowly. So you can see here I've actually combined 2 different power-ups. There's a giant power-up and the attack power-up. And when you go on the anti-gravity things, you actually lose the ability to become giant. And that is intentional. And you can see it's also using the anti-gravity stuff, so really interesting level this one. I hope people really like it when they get around to playing it for themselves. And definitely a lot of chance to get the attack power up on this. I'm going to try and add some more enemies on the stage as well. And if you've noticed, each time you pick it up you change colour. And there we go, the exit's open, which is just up here. Well, I won't show you how to do this bit because it's pretty difficult, but I want it to stay that way, so I will leave it there for you. Don't want to spoil it. Cool, so that was a quick look at World 7 of Super Donuts, and there is this test level that I was doing that's not really a proper level, it was just to me test out some of the mechanics of it. What else is new? Not much new in World 6. I was trying to get these, if I scroll down a bit, I don't know why this level's so big. I was trying to get these cranes to work, and they sort of work, but not really, so I'm not actually sure if I'm going to use them in the final game or not. Here's a pretty cool level, but at the moment it's broken because the speed power-up's not working properly, but this is basically a really fast level where you just go from one side of the screen to the other and keep doing different jumps and stuff. This one is in the MCM demo, so if you've played that, you can actually go and play it on Newgrounds. I've tweaked it slightly, but it's basically more or less the same level. I've done a lot more in World 5, so let's go and take a look at this. If it opens. This level is basically a reimagining of one of the levels I did like last year at some point. Obviously using the new tile sheet. And this one is a pretty cool level. Took some inspiration from Sonic, sort of. The way you go through the tunnels there. So that's pretty cool. So as you can see, I've almost got every level in the game now. It's just a case of actually pulling it all together and making it coherent. Another really cool thing, let me just pause. Another really cool thing I've done, instead of the levels being in one long row, I've actually split them out into separate level areas. So you can see here, here's Area 1, and that's got just World 1's levels in, and then you go to Area 2, and that's got Area 2's levels in, and as you go through the game you keep unlocking these new areas to actually find the levels in, so there's a bit of exploration as well, and that little guy down there, he talks to you as you're going across. And if I go back to this one, this barrier here will disappear when you fight the boss, so I'll just very briefly talk talk about the bosses in the game. As my camera says I've only got 3 more minutes of battery, so I better be quick. World 1's boss, you've seen that before if you've seen the demo. World 2 is a giant crocodile, and the way you attack him is to also become giant and fight him. World 3's boss, it looks terrible, but it does work. You actually have to roll the snowball up. Actually, I'll show you this level, why not? While that's loading, I'll just show you. I don't know if you can see there. I might put a picture over the top. I made a new app icon for it, which I think looks quite cool. It's not going to focus, is it? Sort of, but it's too bright. Never mind, I think it looks really cool. And wait for it to play. I made a new opening for it as well. It shows it backwards, but never mind. And there's a new button here that says stats. So if you click on that, it actually tells you how many sweets you've collected, how many enemies you've killed, how many times you've died, how many levels you've played, how much % of the game you've completed, all sorts of things like that. So there's loads of little code in the game that actually counts all this stuff up and displays it here. So I thought that was just a nice little extra touch. And at the moment the high scores, it sort of works, there you go. So you can see high scores for each of the different worlds in the game as well. And if we go back onto the screen, I've got 1 minute to show you the boss fight. So here we go, you roll this donut up. Sorry, you roll this snowball up. And obviously you have to try and avoid the snowballs that the boss is going to throw at you during that time, which I'm doing very badly at. I'm actually going to die, I think. But you've got to roll this snowball onto that podium thing there, so it actually slows down when you get close to it. And then if you go up here, you have to go and pick the other one up, and yeah, you've guessed it, you have to make your own snowman to fight him. There you go, so I'll kill him. Sorry, I'm out of time now. Thank you very much for watching. Please comment, subscribe if you enjoyed it, leave a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another episode soon. Goodbye.